that's why they have all these housewives who are saying, oh, this floor 14 you cannot buy because
correct.
it sounds like dying.
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm Sarah and I'm right here in Melaka. In Melaka, there's so much to eat, so much to enjoy, and really a sight to behold. But if you're wondering where I'm at a 138-acre area called Impression City. And Impression City is a new cultural, tourism, integrated township development that spans over 138 kilometers. And it's only 3.5 kilometers away from the World UNESCO site. I'm also extremely excited because I get to meet Dato and I've got a ton of questions about Feng Shui, investments, and a ton of business tips that I need to grab from him. So come on, let's go.
Hey Sarah. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Very good.
Welcome to Impression City, Melaka.
Thanks for inviting.
You're welcome. So a little birdie told me that you have a little more than 2 million followers worldwide. Is that correct?
That's pretty correct. Yes, thank you.
I've got over 2 million questions to ask you because you seem like the man to know. Do you mind if I ask you at my dream home?
Let's do it.
Okay, let's go.
An elegantly designed property on 5 acres of land, nestled in the 138-acre Impression City in Melaka, the meeting point of cultures. Discover the eclectic charm of the Dong, styled with elegant textured details and classic characteristics of a theater's backstage, anticipated to premiere with the iconic Impression Melaka. Encounter the exceptional at the Dong.
All right, Dato, you've taken a look at my dream home.
Right, I did.
And I have so many questions about Feng Shui.
Okay, that's why I'm here.
What makes a place lucky?
Well, I think there are 4 factors that actually give the place good feng shui. And many people don't know about this because they think it's the colors and the mirrors and stuff. So these 4 things are, number 1, the environment. The environment, that's every place that we go to have their own unique vibrational energies.
Right.
So feng shui is nothing more than a study of this vibrational energy. If you go to a place, you feel great. Just like you're here, you feel great, right?
Yes.
So this is what we call the environment's vibrational energy. That's the core of feng shui. The other 3 factors are the building, like this room, this studio itself. It's the buildings, the shape that contains the energy.
Yeah.
So the second factor. The third factor is the people. Different people who use the place will get a different vibrational connection with the place and the building. So you might be good for you, might not be good for somebody else.
Yeah.
The fourth factor is time. Different periods of time, they have their peaks and their low seasons.
Right.
But the time factor is about 20 years. Right? So we call it the 20-year cycle. So when we are talking about feng shui, we are talking about the combination of these 4 factors.
Right.
So when you have a couple of these factors that united, right, then we have good feng shui.
Are all of these factors equal?
No, they're not. They are 70% of it is environment. So if you just choose, if you chose an environment that has the vibrational energy, you have better chances of tapping into it. You think of it as feng shui energy is like a Wi-Fi. Right? If that place has got very good signal, you always get a full bar. Suppose it's got no signal whatsoever, it doesn't matter which direction you're trying to tap to, you're just going to get very low signal. Okay, so the first choice is always to choose an environment that has the energies.
Okay, so when we're talking about environment, how much in detail are we talking about the environment? Is it being by the water? Are you in the jungles, like in the hilltop?
You ask really good questions. Okay, so in general, everything's about yin and yang.
Okay.
So what happens is this: yin and yang in the natural environment, it's about the hills and water. So these are 2 factors. So anything that is higher is considered a hill, a yin factor. Anything that's lower is considered the yang factor, which is water. So in a detailed level, like what you're asking like a real student of feng shui here. We have 5 factors. Long sa so yut helm. 5 factors. Long dragon, as in dragon veins. These are actually the ley lines where energy flows through the land. Okay. Number 2 is embrace of hills, because the fact that we have water curvature around a city, that is because the landscape high and low. So that's the traditional term for green dragon, white tiger.
I see.
Most will call it Qinglong Bafu, green dragon, white tiger. But what it really means is the contour of the land. Okay. So the third factor is water. So water is one of the most important factor because to see the fastest effect of Feng Shui,
Yeah.
always water. So most people like to use water-based Feng Shui.
Yes.
Right, so face water, see the water because it's faster.
Right.
But for lasting, it's always the mountains. Yin is lasting.
Right.
Water is fast. Okay, so that's the third factor. The fourth factor is what we call a meridian spot. A meridian spot is called Yud Wai. Yud Wai is where the concentration of energy is. So it's like one big piece of land, but there will be a few spots where the energy concentrates. It's like how it is in the body.
Yeah.
Right? Meridian spots.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so pressure points.
Yes.
Right? So in Feng Shui, it's similar for the land. So this is the fourth factor in landforms. And the fifth factor is orientation. So if you're facing to or what we call connected to
Yeah.
these factors, you get access to the energy. So these are the detailed level of what we call the environment. But for most beginners, if you're watching this, what happens is you just want to know where the water is. It's the easiest to see.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I have two questions about that. So
Right.
one, my mom is always saying, look for water feature.
Yeah.
All the time she's saying that.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you're beside water, if you're close to water, like if there's, a little fountain on the side, like what determines what
Well,
is a
of course,
good water feature for you?
That's great. Natural water, it's always better than a man-made water. Okay. Now, if you have water flow, at least you have the excess of yang energies. Now, why do we need yang energies? It's because generally, if you want to do anything in life, we need to be optimistic. We got to have the energy. If you want to come up with an idea,
Yeah.
we need energy. We want to come make money, right? We need energy. We want to help someone in it, we need energy. To love someone or hate someone,
Yeah.
we still require energy.
Yes.
So if you have access to water, at least it's there, it is easy for the manipulation, which is the orientation of Feng Shui to happen. So if you don't have this, it's harder to create this through an artificial fountain of sorts.
Yes.
So it's like that, I always say, if you don't have hair,
Yeah.
you cannot perm hair.
Yeah.
Right? So you gotta go and first have the environment that has the energy.
Yes.
Then you can tap to it using Feng Shui.
Yeah. Well, okay, so the second question I had was the meridian points, and I find that really fascinating. Who determines what is a meridian point or where is the meridian point? Is it the
Okay.
center, the heart of something?
Right. There are certain principles to follow, guiding principles. It's like you look at the GPS. Who determines where this is? Right. Somebody's got to set it first.
Right.
Right. So in Feng Shui, there are certain features that if you see present, like you take off, like you check everything,
Yeah.
then in that vicinity there should be a pressure point. There should be an energy point.
Right.
So that's when you hear people say green dragon, white tiger, orientation left and right.
Yeah.
That's where it came from.
Yeah.
Because we want to check out all those boxes and say, oh, if you have all this, that means this area is good for that aspect. And plus, we are all receptors of energy.
Yeah.
So we can feel it. If you go to a place and you feel positive, you feel optimistic, you feel great.
Yeah.
Then that place has good Feng Shui. If you go to a place and seriously
And it just like drains,
It drains you, right?
You're angry.
you're angry all the time, you see your wife, you want to vomit,
Yeah.
then you have a problem, you know?
Right.
So that's our place has bad Feng Shui.
Yeah.
Okay, so you will be the best judge. It's usually that's it. So when we say we use Feng Shui, it's nothing more than just a calculation. But at the end of the day, the result is always the people.
I think when you say people, I think about the energy of people, and I think about the energy that you're surrounded by.
Yeah.
And so often we think that it's like colors or mirrors or things
Right.
that you need to just kind of boost it up. I need more yellow in my life for
Right.
this. So does that affect anything?
That affects very little.
Okay.
So the thing is, human beings cannot overpower the environment. It's like that. If we are a positive person,
Yeah.
but all our friends,
Yeah.
right, every single one of them are negative, they're going to drain you down
Absolutely.
in some ways,
Yeah,
right?
I totally
so
agree.
if you have a positive vibe and you are also surrounded by people who have positive vibe, what will
Yeah.
happen? You get a boost.
Yeah.
You get the energy comes and you unite them as a team, right? So when we talk about colors, it just affects your thinking a little bit. It may affect your mood a little bit, but it's not an overall thing. But when you talk about Mother Nature, that's real energy.
Right.
So colors have very little impact.
Ah, I see. And I mean, when we talk about living where we've got apartment buildings, there's always these floors and numbers that are like
Right,
really
right.
bad. That you're not supposed to have a 4. It's got to have
No.
this or that number.
The problem with a lot of Feng Shui is they have incorporated a lot of common housewife superstition into it.
Right.
That's the thing, right? Because unfortunately in this field, before my time, of
Yes.
course, 30, 40 years ago,
Yeah.
this a lot of people who practice this, they are not educated. Okay, so when they're not educated, they talk, some make sense, some doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And so that's why they have all these housewives who are saying, oh, this floor 14 you cannot buy because
correct.
it sounds like dying.
Yeah.
So what it sounds like, and symbolically, is for the simple-minded or the simple-minded.
Right.
It's nothing to do with Feng Shui. Feng Shui is direction, location, and time. You gotta know where and when you're aligning to it and the energy, and plus you gotta be able to feel it.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
If you don't feel it, you don't feel good. There's something wrong with the Feng Shui.
Yeah.
Okay, and if you feel good, you will do well.
Yeah.
You will want to work harder. You'll be more creative because creative is the source of life.
Yes.
Every problem, when you are creative, you can solve. When you're not creative, your problem, you only know how to complain.
Right.
Right?
I feel like this is like a profound information that is coming
But this
my
is
way.
Feng Shui.
No, I think it's great, and I think you really explain how the energy it's a lot about yourself and
Yeah.
the environment.
Correct.
I wanted to spell a couple myths that I have.
Okay.
Is there such thing as a lucky home or a lucky house or a lucky place?
Essentially, what people call as lucky is when they get things their way, right? In order to get things that go your way, first you must know where you're going. Or if you have no direction in life and no purpose in life, you cannot possibly be lucky. Okay? So it starts with having a home that allows you to feel good so that you have clarity about your life.
Right.
When you're clear on what financial goals you have, when you're clear on what relationship goals you have, when you're clear on what you want to do with your life, and you meet those goals, you will call yourself lucky.
Right.
So that's what Feng Shui is about.
And you mentioned earlier a bit about timing as well. How does that factor into luck?
Because essentially life consists of two things, time and energy. You think about it, we don't run out of time, we just run out of energy. At some point this energy will leave you and then you're dead, right? So every single day we are using some of our energy or we're depleting it. What if the environment can give back some of this to us? Then we can make good use of the time that we are given.
Right.
If we don't exist, time still exists, you know.
That's true.
Right? So we need the energy to turn this time that we're given to something that's good. Some people need 10 years to do one small thing. Some people with 1 year, they do 10 years worth of work.
Right.
The difference is energy. So when we are talking about Feng Shui, we are trying to get this energy to work in our favor. So when that happens, lay people's term for it is lucky.
Yeah.
But what we know is we just have more energy.
Right. And I was going to say just one more part about the environment and the way you see things. What about like the view? You know, when people say that, you know, you open your curtains and you're like, oh, there's water everywhere, or, you know, there's mountains and whatnot. Does that make a difference in terms of direction?
That's environment that we're talking about.
Yeah.
So what essentially ordinary layman calls the view is what Feng Shui practitioners call source of energy. Your source of energy has to come from nature. Now, even if without the view, it's at night, for example, if there are nice mountain and water features, you feel good.
Yeah.
Right? You go to a resort, good ones of course, or you go to places where there are good formations, you actually feel good. You feel rejuvenated after a couple of days.
Interesting.
So we want that on a consistent basis in our home and our offices and our work.
Well, thanks, Dato. So we're here in my dream home, the Dawn, and we've felt the good energy. I feel the good energy.
That's great.
And I know that you talked a lot about the environment, and we're gonna go and check it out. So stay tuned for the next episode. So there's sentimental water.
Sentimental and merciless water. Two
Merciless.
types of water. There are three types of landforms. Okay, this is called flatland dragon. Therefore, access to water is king. Wow, this is like a city within a city.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And this is going to be happening till like I think 10 years.
10 years, and you're going to choose a home right here.
Oh, that's right. The Dawn right there.
Feng Shui, water is supposed to bring wealth, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean it. What water brings is